It's the Fairway Times podcast presented by Wild Goat. You know that feeling, 3 hours into a round, standing over a wedge, tuck pin, everything on the line with your buddies, and your mind just drifts? That's not a swing problem. That's a focus problem. Most golfers try to fix it with an energy drink, and sometimes it works, but most of the time you get the jitters early and crash right when it matters most. Wild Goat wanted to build something different. Their Focus Plus Hydration Gummy was specifically designed for the demands of a golf round, not the gym, not the track, golf. It combines alpha GPC and cognizin for sharp, clear focus, a small calibrated dose of caffeine with L-theanine to keep things smooth and steady, and electrolytes to keep you hydrated all the way through 18 holes. No jitters, no crash, just presence. The kind that lets you stand over a hard shot and actually be present for it. Visit getwildgoat.com to pre-order yours today. That's getwildgoat.com. Pre-order shipping in the next couple weeks. This episode is also brought to you by the Fairway Times, your go-to golf media website, with articles covering every corner of the game, from the PGA Tour to the latest in equipment. Subscribe today using the link in the show notes, and you'll receive a free mental performance golf guide delivered straight to your inbox, guaranteed to have you shooting lower scores in no time. Visit fairwaytimes.com. That's FWYtimes.com. Now, let's get into the show.
Waited for years. Many doubted we'd ever see it. But here it is. The return to glory.
This is the Fairway Times. What is going on, everybody? Happy Thursday here from sunny California. Fairway Times podcast. We have an awesome episode for you guys today. Going through day one of the Valspar, going through some of my favorite bets as we head into the weekend. What is the cut line looking like? We're also going to be talking about Rory's Masters dinner, some new features on the Masters website that is getting rolled out, as now we are just 3 weeks away from Augusta, guys. I am so excited. I know a lot of you guys were watching March Madness today, as I was, but I did get a chance on the multi-view, shout out YouTube TV, to be able to have the Valspar on one of the screens. So, yeah, guys, so let's just jump right into it. This segment we are calling Teed Up, where we just talk about the PGA Tour. So let's just do just that. So starting out with just the obvious, Sung Jae In, right? He is currently -7. He's coming off that wrist injury. And this is one of the times where obviously we've seen him since the wrist injury, but we really haven't got to see him center stage in the Malbon attire. Looks really good. I'm not sure if he's going to go out on a limb and really try like the crazy looks that Jason Day does. But it looked clean today. It just looked very crisp and clean. Ended up being 7 under par, right? And just overall looks like he's playing really solid golf again. And when he's playing great golf, it's better for the game. So super excited for him as we head into this weekend and as we head into Augusta. Something I want to touch on before we kind of go through more of the top 5 is I wanted to talk about the course for a second, right? So Innisbrook Resort is out in Florida, and specifically they're playing the Copperhead course, which is Palm Harbor, Florida. And it is not an easy golf course, guys, like by any means. This is a course that last year ranked in the top 8 of most difficult courses on tour. And tour average last year was 18% birdie rate. Copperhead plays at 14%, guys. So a lot harder of a golf course. So really profiles that I look for with people who match this golf course is bombers do not traditionally do well here. This is more of a target golf course where if you miss the fairway, you are going to be penalized. And so I'm looking for absolute just ball strikers, right? I don't care if you have distance at this course. This is not where I would care about Bryson if he was in the field. This is just purely like who's a ball striker. Obviously, the field is not usually this strong. The field this year is pretty strong, but normally we're looking at some more abstract guys, which we are a little bit today. But there's still some big dog names in it. So once again, yeah, let's just kind of go into the good, the bad, and a little bit of the wild, right? So right now, Brant Schnedker, excuse me, sits at 6 under par, right? This is a gentleman in his mid 40s. He has not had a win on the PGA Tour since 2018. He is currently on a sponsor's exemption, I believe. So this is just a really cool story. The putter was absolutely rolling for him today, over 150 feet worth of putts made today. And just, he's missed all 4 cuts to start 2026, guys. So this is just a super cool story. Really happy for the older gentleman, and applying some pressure to some of the big dogs up top. In third place, sitting at 5 under, we have Davis Thompson. Just kind of like what we're used to from him. Clean, steady, really no drama. An excellent ball striker, and honestly, someone that really fits the profile of this golf course. I don't think he's someone that should go overlooked in any way, shape, or form. Sitting at 4 under, we have Billy Horschel, Pearson Coody, and Andrew Putnam. Sorry, I always struggle to say his last name, guys. Really, I just want to focus on Billy Horschel. So he missed the Players' Championship last week and is kind of running out of time to get into that top 50 for the Masters, which is a real bummer, right? We all like to see Billy Horschel play. But the pressure being on him, it looks like he is going at this with full force and with confidence. And I would love to see him get a win and get one of those last spots into Augusta. So we're going to kind of keep an eye on him as we go throughout the weekend. Looking at that T7 spot, guys, it is absolutely stacked with big dogs. Xander Schauffele, Jacob Bridgman, Ricky Castillo, Alex Smalley, and Aaron Rai all are at 3 under. On Bridgman specifically, had a bogey-free round, which is super rare at this golf course. Hold a par putt from just inside 10 feet on the 18th to keep the card completely clean. And he had a nice quote after. That was a big one, even more than a normal par save. That one felt good. To go around here bogey-free, it means you're playing some really good golf. I made a couple nice saves today to keep myself in it, composed. Guys, he knows exactly what he's doing. We've talked about Jacob Bridgman before in episode 1 of this podcast, but I just think he's trending towards he might just be a top 10 player in the world for a long time. His game just looks super steady, and we'll talk about that more a little bit in the later segments. Schauffele led the field in strokes gained and approach at Sawgrass last week. And at Copperhead last year, he gained 11.28 strokes on the approach for the week. And in his 12 previous rounds played at Copperhead, his 1.52 strokes gained approach per round average, it laps the field, guys. So 64.4% greens and reg. He just belongs on this leaderboard. And as we know, Xander is coming off of the injury as well, and he's just really getting his game back in shape. And we know what this guy can do when he is at full strength. He wins majors. So I would just very much be on the watch for him. I don't know if this is somebody that could win this week. It's not really something I'm too keen on, but just keep watching this guy's game once again as we trend towards Augusta. This is a guy that can play with anyone. If he is in the final pairing on Sunday in Georgia, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be competitive. And, he wants a green jacket. He wants a green jacket more than other guys. I think once you win other majors, that need to win a green jacket, just like we saw with Rory, just ramps up significantly. Taking a little bit more down the leaderboard, Jordan Spieth sits at 2 under. Guy came out on fire with an eagle, and he was just flying, and then Copperhead really showed its teeth. 16, 17, and 18 beat him up a little bit, and Spieth is the type of guy, right, as we know, where he's a streaky player, and if he can make incredible saves or he can make double, right? So it's very much a If his game is in the right place, he can win this golf tournament. And if it's not right, he might not make the cut. Um, 2 under for the day. I think he's got a chance. Pretty sure he'll make the cut. But the snake pit, which is 16, 17, and 18 at Copperhead, definitely ate his lunch a little bit today. Victor Hovland, the defending champion, sitting at 1 under. He was 2 over through 6 holes and salvaged a 70 on the day. So he's 6 shots back. But I'd say he's absolutely in this tournament. Obviously, he knows how to win it. He's done it before. And the game overall looks good. Just watching it, his game is really rounding into form. So super excited for him. And then rounding out just the score, Brooks Koepka is sitting at even par. I am so high on Brooks Koepka this year at Augusta. All of these milestones are just encouraging to me. He's not there yet, but I love Brooks Koepka, which we will talk about later on, to definitely be top 10 or top 20. His game, I just think this guy is a bulldog. Him and Jon Rahm, when there are final pairings, I just have like this utmost confidence in them. They both walk around with just like this different kind of swagger, this different, almost like Tom Brady does, right, at the Super Bowl. I've been here, I've done it, and I can get it done. And he shows no emotion about it. It's just this stone cold killer. And when people are paired with Brooks Koepka on Sunday at a final round in a major, I feel bad for them. Just like people used to talk about with Tiger. I feel bad for those guys because they don't know how to handle it. So once again, is Brooks Koepka normally playing in the Valspar? Maybe some years, but usually not. So he is pushing his game and he is getting it ready to get himself a green jacket. So let's talk about some of my favorite bets, kind of coming off that analysis that I wrote down today. End of round 2 leaders, I think, is super interesting. And I like Xander. According to the DraftKings Sportsbook, which, once again, they are not a sponsor of this podcast, which if they want to, feel free to hit my line. End of round 2 leaders, Xander is currently plus 1,600. I think it's really good value. I think he played well today. And he's normally a guy that on Friday can make things happen. So look out for that. Let's look at kind of my outright winner here. Jacob Bridgman. Once again, I'm going to keep saying his name. Maybe it's because I just watched him win at Riviera in person and I watched his game and I was just enamored by it because I'd never seen the guy before. Plus 1425. He's so much better than everybody in the field right now, in my opinion, in every facet of the game. This is a no-brainer. If you want to sprinkle something on it, it might just reward you. And I think out of everybody in this entire field, he is probably playing the most well-rounded golf tee to green. Someone else I want to highlight that I did not do the actual odds for is Corey Connors, okay? He went back-to-back eagles today, and his game looks extremely good. Obviously, he has been a top 30 player in the world for a really long time. Just watch out for him. I'm not ready to bet on him for anything yet, but if he's like top 5 hanging around after Saturday, that could be something really fun to definitely sprinkle something on for sure. And he's just a really easy guy to root for. Okay, let's go into our next segment. This segment is brought to you by Wild Goat, guys. You heard it before the podcast episode started. Wild Goat is a gummy that increases focus out on the course. It does this through their proprietary blend of ingredients that do not get you jittery caffeine, like caffeine. So visit getwildgoat.com. I want to talk about Rory McIlroy's Masters dinner. He held a press conference kind of announcing the menu, and I have some thoughts on it. I don't think it's terrible, but I think there was a lot of room for improvement. So starting off hot here, we have his mother's bacon wrapped dates stuffed with goat cheese. I have no idea. Is this an Ireland thing? Please talk to me in the comments about it. I think interesting choice. It feels safe to me. I'm sorry. It feels really, really safe to me. And maybe that's because this next appetizer is not safe. Doesn't really do it for me. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It doesn't do it for me. Doesn't hurt my feelings. Just doesn't do it for me. So we're going to give that. We talked about rating them a little bit today. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Average. Second appetizer, grilled elk sliders. Now, I know a lot of people are going to have very, very strong opinions on this. This is a 9 out of 10. He went out. He took a risk. This is unbelievable. What a pick. What a pick from Rory that I would never expect. I'm not a Rory McIlroy fan. I have not particularly liked his comments through the years about certain things, especially after the Masters, him losing motivation. Not particularly my cup of tea, but this is a home run pick. And if they are done right, good for him. I don't know if this has ever been done before. I assume not at the Masters dinner. But what just an excellent, excellent pick. Because here's the thing. I can just imagine all the champions sitting around the table. Phil Mickelson has absolutely 8 elk sliders in his life. Has Tiger Woods ever eaten elk sliders? Probably not. Vastly just different palates that I imagine they enjoy every day. To me, like every night, Tiger's eating like clean with like salmon. I'm not saying elk's not clean, but just like really, really lean grilled chicken. And then Phil Mickelson is just eating like extremely buttery ribeyes. And he's going to events where he's eating elk and alligator and just cool stuff like that. So awesome pick. Third appetizer, rock shrimp tempura. I mean, sure, I guess. I'm allergic to shellfish, so if I ate a couple of these things, Rory would be stabbing me with the EpiPen. But I mean, I guess he said it was in the press conference. He said it was like to ESPN. He said it was a crowd pleaser. Sure, doesn't do it for me. 5 out of 10. Not much more to say there. Maybe it's because I don't eat shrimp, so I don't have any feelings towards it. Okay, another appetizer here. The ricotta flatbread. Okay. I'm going to pick a bone with the food industry here for a second. I have a real problem when we call things fancy names that they're not. Like, just call it a flatbread pizza. I don't care about the ricotta. I don't care about any of that shit. Just give me a solid flatbread pizza. Okay. It could even be on like a French bread sourdough roll. My mom used to do those and they were absolutely excellent. But like, oh, I'll have the ricotta flatbread. I can just imagine Rory ordering that at some overpriced Michelin star restaurant. It just comes out like shit. So I'm out on this. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10 just solely based on the names. I could be way off on that. People could absolutely wreck me in the comments for this. Just not my thing. Just not my thing. Just call it something normal. I would prefer a flatbread with some really high quality marinara sauce and some pepperoni on it. Call me old fashioned that way. Just the ricotta doesn't do it for me. Let's get into kind of the meat and potatoes, if you will, of this. Yellowfin tuna capriccio. Okay. Sounds wonderful. Let me give you the backstory of what Rory is having the staff at Augusta do. So supposedly this is his favorite meal from a restaurant in New York City called La Bernardin. If it's that hard to I'm probably not going to it. Like, I like bougie things, but like when the portion sizes are like the size of my thumb, I'm out, and that just sounds like a restaurant that the portion sizes are extremely small and I'm just going to leave hungry and pissed off. So the Augusta staff, Rory is having them fly to this restaurant to meet the chef so they can understand how to prepare that. Now, I know this has happened in the past, but this just seems like such a specific dish. Why wouldn't you just fly the chef in? I don't know if that's how it works in the food industry. Once again, if someone in the food industry knows more about these things than I do, please just roast me and sound off. But to me, like, just the logistics, just bringing the chef that knows how to do it, like training somebody on how to make yellow tuna at this level, it just seems like it's not going to come out right. So once again, we saw that this is a 3-star Michelin restaurant. This just seems like kind of the most Augusta I'm trying too hard thing ever. Like, because Jack Nicklaus is going to be sitting there eating yellowfin tuna. Or is he? Because when you do something like that, but if we're going to do our rankings, yellowfin tuna, I'm going to give it a 7, right? I think if it's done well, it's going to be good. It's just the backstory behind it kind of seems extreme. So let's talk about the next 2 main courses that you can choose, and you can choose either or maybe at the Masters Dinner, you just get to order unlimited of everything. I have no idea. But the Wagyu filet mignon or seared salmon. Just like, did I not just say that Tiger Woods will probably order the seared salmon? And this is served next to Irish Champ, which this is the first time I've ever heard this term before. It's just mashed potatoes with spring onions in it. But it's got a cool name, like, oh, I'm about to go eat some Irish Champ. Sounds cool, I guess. I mean, I wonder if they're good. Kind of sounds like to me I'm just putting sour cream and onion chips into my mashed potatoes, which would probably be wonderful. I'm sure the Wagyu filet mignon will be wonderful. Like, I'm sure the staff at Augusta knows how to cook an extremely good steak. Seared salmon will probably be excellent. This is literally nothing new. A lot of past champs have done this. Rory, just something to note, he said he grew up just eating bowls of this mashed potato, which sounds way cooler than America. These kids in Ireland are literally just shoveling potatoes into their mouth. Like, no wonder they're so good at a bunch of sports. These kids are just growing up to be absolutely massive linemen, as well as clearly golfers. I could just imagine Shane Lowry and Rory just pounding bowls of this shit growing up. Like, good for them. I think, honestly, for the main courses, I'm just going to round this out by saying the Wagyu filet is the correct choice, and everyone in the room is going to order that unless you have something against red meat. Nobody except Tiger Woods is going to order that seared salmon. But the seared salmon is a nice touch, and I appreciate that from Rory. I'm shocked he didn't do some kind of bougie chicken. But decent touch. Once again, just to, I know it's not about who you're feeding, but you're feeding Phil Mickelson and Dustin Johnson. Those guys ain't ordering the bougie tuna capriccio. They're ordering the steak. Okay, so good for Rory for having that feel to put that on there. Okay, let's talk about the dessert. Sticky toffee pudding with vanilla ice cream and warm toffee sauce. This just seems like the most European thing ever. I'm sure it's absolutely wonderful. This sounds like something when I'm at a nice restaurant, I randomly order for dessert. It's like a $23 item and it's like pretty good. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Sounds pretty good. That's it. I'll give it a 6. I could have done here with a creme brulee. I could have done here with like an insane. I'll just tell you guys straight up because I'm a big dessert guy. Which if I won the Masters, I would have ice cream sandwiches with fresh, warm chocolate chip cookies or M&M cookies. And maybe that's just like my American patriotism coming out, but just give me something extremely traditional and good. Bottom line, understand he's not American, but average for me. I'll give it an 8. I'll be generous. Give it an 8. Sounds wonderful. So I thought a segment would be really cool where we compare Rory's dinner and what he chose to Scottie Scheffler's. And really, unfortunately, this is just not even a contest. Scottie Scheffler blew his menu absolutely out of the water. Cheeseburger sliders. I'm so in on that. It's crazy. Like, whenever you go to BJ's, whenever you go to one of these restaurants that are just like small chains, everyone's always ordering the cheeseburger sliders. You know why? Because they're really hard to screw up and they're really good, especially if you can get grilled onions on them. Unbelievable pick by Scottie last year. Firecracker shrimp sounds amazing. I wish I could eat it. I've heard great things though. Papa Scheffler's meatball and ravioli bites. Unbelievable pick. Really can't go wrong. I love that he mixed in the Italian there. Texas style chili. That for me gets a little weird. I'm fine with it. I don't know if anybody's actually eating it or if it just kind of like looks like a cool soup next to the table, or next to each individual person's placeholder. It's fine, I guess. the wood-fired cowboy ribeye. That is what I'm talking about, Scotty Scheffler. That is why you're the number one player in the world, because you make decisions like that. Because I bet that wood-fire cowboy ribeye has some unbelievable garlic butter when it comes out. I bet it's medium rare, and I bet the Augusta staff can make that in their freaking sleep. That is the pick of a champion right there. I absolutely love that. If Rory McIlroy would have put the word ribeye on his dinner, it would have changed my entire perspective on it. And then, of course, he rounds it out with a warm chocolate chip skillet cookie. Great. Congratulations, Scotty. You won. I'm going to overall give Scotty a 9, and I am going to give Rory a 6.5. A 6.5. Once again, it could be because I'm from America. I've never ate food in Ireland. Just didn't do it for me. So we'll see whoever wins this year if they can kind of figure it out. To me, Scheffler's just felt like a cool, like Texas style cookout. And I think the food probably definitely rivals that. Let's go into a awesome topic that came out today. A statement released by the Masters saying that they have added a new feature to the website. It is called the Masters Vault. It is a completely searchable video archive of every single shot that's ever been hit in the Masters since 1968. I don't know why we haven't had this for the past 30 years, but this is such an unbelievable feature. I can't believe how cool this is. You can literally go in and type in any shot, which for me, I was born in 2000. I never really watched Jack Nicklaus. I never watched all these old timers play. I want to see some of their most iconic shots. And most of all, I want to see what Augusta looked like more back then. That's what I'm most excited about. What did 16 look like back then? I've seen some of the old photos as I go through Instagram, but to actually see it on video taken by the TV cameras of those times, I'm super just excited for this feature. And once again, the Augusta marketing team just doesn't miss. We're just going to release the best feature in basically the history of website of internet golf 3 weeks before our biggest event. Absolutely sensational work by them. So I went through and I decided to pick 4 of the best things that are searchable. So good and bad. So I think Tiger's chip in 05 obviously has to be on there. It's one of the most iconic calls and shots in the history of the game. So definitely, if you haven't seen that, go search it up. How about Ernie Els' 6-putt on hole 1? That is probably just an absolutely torturous fun watch. And I can just hear all the Instagram comments. One of us. So fun. I think you have to look up Rory's iron shot from last year because, as Jim Nantz stated, that was one of the shots of the century. Sometimes I think when we see moments in today's day and age, we don't view them as extremely iconic moments. But Rory's, when we look back in 20 years, when he stuck the iron shot and hit the little low draw, that's so special. That shot is definitely going to go down under that much pressure as just an amazing shot. And then how about we throw it back a little bit to 2003. Jeff Margaret, I think is how you said his last name. Anyway, somebody put me onto this. When he hit himself with his own golf ball. Yeah, this is definitely a fun watch. I'm not proud of putting this in this segment, but it just has to be in here, right? It's literally non-negotiable that this has to be in here. So, yeah, definitely go look up those 4. I'm sure I'm missing a lot. I know, I don't remember the year, but I know there's an iconic Jack Nicklaus back 9 charge, where he's down a couple shots, makes a charge, and ends up winning another green jacket. So definitely go find that. And I might keep posting on the Fairway Times socials if I find more. And also leave comments down below of some of the most iconic shots you remember from when you were a kid, or just fun memories you remember as well. Okay, so as a lot of you know, on the Fairway Times website, fwytimes.com, each week we do a marketplace find of the week. And this started because I am an absolute just Facebook Marketplace fiend. Originally, my dad got me into being a Craigslist fiend. And as I got older, this just kind of elevated into checking Craigslist Marketplace and OfferUp almost on a daily basis for whatever I'm looking for in life. But obviously, normally this turns out to be golf things. I've gotten insane. I met one time, and I can't say the guy's name, but I just showed up to a Walmart parking lot, and it was a former tour player that was handing me his tour wedges for like $300. And those are actually the wedges that is in my bag right now. So I have had some crazy experiences in Marketplace. I have Colin Morikawa's old SimMax 3 wood in my bag that was off Marketplace, where I ended up meeting somebody that was very high up in the industry by accident, and I ended up going back to his house, to his workshop, to pick out things that I wanted. Thank the Lord I'm still here today, because that could have just easily been me getting kidnapped or murdered. But the root of it is Marketplace has been very, very good to me over the years. So I started this thing where I am looking for the golf marketplace find of the week. And last week we found a of 100 presidential tailor-made Trump driver that is made to look like an old school persimmon with amazing wood grain. And it was up for a couple grand. And I said in the article that I actually think he was underpriced, because I was seeing some for $5,000 and $6,000 on eBay. So now whether anyone's buying in that or not, I don't know. So for this week, I really wanted to find something special. And just so everybody knows kind of my criteria, because I'm pretty open with it. First, I searched the Southern California area, and I extended out to Palm Springs, because this is just one of the meccas of golf. Then I do a search in Dallas. Then I do a search in West Palm Beach, Florida, specifically extend it as high as Jupiter, right? Because there's so many figures in these three areas that live in these spots. So very fortunately, I was able to find one of my first search criteria, which was Orange County. So what did we find? We found an Adams Damascus putter, which, for those of you that don't know, Adams Golf was a company that was a relatively successful golf organization. They made everything from irons to hybrids, pretty much a full-blown golf company back in the day. You probably know them most notably from their work in the Adams Idea line. That is what you will still see in people's bag. Golf WRX has documented some different guys on tour that might even still be playing the hybrid, some of the non-supported free agent guys. So they were just a really cool club manufacturing company. And then they got acquired by TaylorMade. TaylorMade stole, quote unquote, stole. They acquired a lot of their technology, and then they just dumped the company, which was really sad to see. So whenever I see Adams Golf stuff, I always am clicking into it. Normally it's just, cheap, older, decent quality stuff for $200 or $300, but this really caught my eye. So, the Damascus putter was just an unreal line of specifically putters from Adams that, from what I can find on the internet and through different forums, were specifically only for tour players, although there is a caveat to that, or Adams Golf employees. And what happened is they're also numbered on the bottom. And specifically, what's so cool about this particular one that I found is it is number 001. And the whole reference line is CCC 01001, which to me, and I hope that somebody worked at Adams Golf will see this and correct me or tell me the story on this. I'm guessing a 001 was probably for somebody at the C level. I'm going to just take a wild guess and say the fresh college graduate kid that was 23 years old when they got acquired by TaylorMade was not getting gifted the putter 001, right? It just usually doesn't work like that. It's either probably a super high level executive or a tour player. The other thing is these were made from Damascus steel, which is the highest level of quality that basically steel can get. and they were just beautiful. They have this beautiful marbling. Go look at the photos, fwytimes.com. I posted all the guys' photos from the actual marketplace ad. And this one in particular was super special because it had never been hit. That's right. And never, ever even seen a putt rolled on it. Supposedly, that's what the guy says. And the marbling on it is just unbelievable. It looks like a cross between wood grain and marble, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. It's got the line on the lower level of the blade in white. It is just absolutely beautiful. Now, also, somebody put a Fujikura shaft in this, putting shaft at this, and did it specifically in the Ferrari colorway. So on the top half of the shaft, it's carbon fiber, and then it fades into Ferrari red, which I thought was really, really cool. So original head cover as well, and you also got the original shaft with it. And it looked, so for everybody that wants to know the price, it was up for $1,000 and it recently got reduced from $700, which is pretty fair, right? Because I'm gonna guess there's not a giant market for this. And I actually messaged the guy to ask him if I could feature this putter in this segment. And he was like, yes, I am actually like a high-end putter collector. So I'm going to reach back out to him and see if I can maybe do an interview with him or just go through his collection and film a video for you guys. So stay tuned for that. But I really wanted to do some more research on what these were and where they came from. So here's kind of my best guess. So back in 2011 on a Golf WRX forum, somebody that was an Adams Golf employee posted their 4 putters that they had gotten from the company, including this model, not the same number, including this model. So I read all about it. They were gifted to employees and tour players, unless the tour player back then was playing Yes putters, the company Yes, which I think back then they might have been in a partnership. And this was like 2010 through 2014. Once again, if an employee can correct me on this, please do, because I want to know the story as bad as everybody else. So then, from what I can gather, I'm guessing that if you are an employee high enough to get a gift of this caliber, you're important to the company. Important enough where when TaylorMade acquired them, they operated out of Plano, Texas. I'm guessing all those employees moved to Carlsbad, California, where TaylorMade is. So then I go look, and the reason I say this is because I've seen a couple of these floating around Southern California, which seems super weird. I'm on Marketplace, once again, like I told you guys, searching a range of locations and criterias, and never have seen one of these, ever. So it's weird that I've come across multiple in Southern California. And once again, my best guess is that these employees that were high up got gifted the putters, TaylorMade acquired them, they moved to Southern California, and then maybe they retired. Maybe TaylorMade axed them out of the company and let them go because, once again, they just took their technology. They didn't continue the Adams Golf company. And then all those people were like, what am I going to do with these putters? How long can I keep this keepsake gift, especially if you're like an engineer at this company that doesn't play golf? Like, what am I going to do with this? I'm going to sell it. And what am I going to sell it on? Either eBay or on a used marketplace. So that's my best guess. So if somebody wants to correct me, tell me the real story, would be happy to have you on and interview you because I think it would just be great to learn about it. But shout out Adams Golf. What an amazing, just cool company, and just their stuff is top notch. So go read the deep dive once again, fwytimes.com, and that is in our equipment category. So just rounding out the day, overall awesome day one at the Valspar. I am super excited to watch what shakes out this weekend and watch whose games are trending as we head to Augusta, Georgia. I am going to be coming out with a full article recap, as well as I'm sure we'll be talking about it next week. So stay tuned for that. And I'm also going to be coming out with a deep dive golf performance article on something around cognitive performance, because as you guys know, I'm a sport and performance psychology professional. I have got the privilege to work with so many amazing players, and I've also just got to learn a lot from a golf standpoint, or being around such amazing coaches and golfers that now I want to bring that content to you. So yeah, that kind of wraps up our Thursday. You're probably hearing this Friday morning, so get those bets in, guys, and just enjoy the weekend. And most importantly, enjoy March Madness. It's one of the best and most fun times of the year as we head into Masters season. So thank you so much, guys, and visit fwytimes.com and subscribe to receive your free golf cognitive performance guide that gets delivered right to your inbox along with our articles. As soon as they're published, they get delivered right to your inbox. That's all Subscribe does. We're not sending you any spam. So once again, thanks so much, guys, and have a great Friday.
Like to hit bombs.
I do. There's a lot more to winning than just, hitting bombs.
You saw him dropping all kinds of bombs off the tee. I mean, just hellacious bombs.
I have to have the ability to hit bombs. We talk about it. You got to hit it long out here. Hit bombs. Todd, when I stop hitting bombs, I'll play the Champions Tour, but I'm hitting some crazy bombs.
Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Remember to hit bombs, and I will see you next time.